Hi again, class. Today, we're going to discuss Melc 4 of this subject, application of the theoretical perspectives. What is mentioned in Melc 4 is apply the major social science theories and its importance in examining sociocultural, economic, and political conditions. What are these social science theories? So, based from our lesson last time, according to Melc number 3, we've discussed these three theories: structural functionalism, cultural Marxism theory, and the symbolic interactionism. So, this time for our lesson under Melc number 4, we're going to apply the said theories in our social problems, especially the social problems that we encounter here in the Philippines. So the question is, how social science theories view social problems like number 1, poverty, number 2, prostitution, number 3, unemployment, number 4, underemployment, number 5, brain drain, number 6, overpopulation. Number 7, climate change. Number 8, gender inequality. Number 9, health care availability. Number 10, COVID-19 pandemic. Number 11, drug addiction. Number 12, criminality like robbery, gang wars, and others. Number 13, pollution. Number 14, corruption. Number 15, garbage. So I got only here 15 social problems that we encounter here in the Philippines. But there are a lot more. But we'll only focus on these 15 social problems. For this particular topic, you are going to apply the three theories and one problem. So later, you will know how to do it. So before we do the application, let me have a review first of what we've discussed last time. Can you guess which theory relies on the assumptions of stability, harmony, and evolution? Among the three theories mentioned, which theory relies on the assumptions of stability, harmony, and evolution? I'll give you 5 seconds, and your 5 seconds starts now. Okay, you are correct. That is the structural functionalist perspective or the structural functionalist theory, or the structural functionalist approach. Next one. Which theoretical perspective is most likely to focus on how inequality, competition, tension, and antagonisms in the social structure are likely to create pressures for social change? Again, among the three social science theories, structural functionalist, Marxist or conflict, and symbolic interactionism, which theoretical perspective is most likely to focus on how inequality, competition, tension, and antagonisms in the social structure are likely to create pressures for social change? I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your answer? Yes, you are correct. That is conflict or the Marxism perspective. Next one. Among the theories, social science theories, the structural functionalist, letter B, conflict or Marxist perspective. And number 3, the symbolic interactionism, which theory addresses the subjective meaning of human acts and the processes through which people come to develop and communicate shared meanings. Again, the question is, which theory addresses the subjective meaning of human acts and the processes through which people come to develop and communicate shared meanings? 5 seconds starts now. Okay, you are correct. The answer is symbolic interactionism. Very good. Okay. What theory is being depicted here? Mary became a prostitute since it was one of the few occupations that would allow her to escape poverty. Mary's use of sex as a scarce resource is explained by which sociological perspective? Again, which theory is being depicted here? Mary became a prostitute since it was one of the few occupations that would allow her to escape poverty. Mary's use of sex as a scarce resource is explained by which sociological perspective? Correct. The answer is conflict or Marxism perspective. Another situation. What theory is being depicted here? Marie grew up in a Spanish Harlem with a household income slightly above poverty level. Jen's family makes $150,000 a year. Who would be most likely to study Marie and Jen's individual attitudes and behavior? Again, Marie grew up in Spanish Harlem with a household income slightly above poverty level. John's family makes $150,000 a year. Who would be most likely to study Marie and John's individual attitudes and behavior? The answer is the symbolic interactionism. Correct. Okay, this one. What theory is being depicted here? Education teaches individual skills necessary for future occupations. Again, what theory is being depicted here? Education teaches individual skills necessary for future occupations. Your answer? You are correct. The answer is structural functional approach or the structural functionalism perspective. So in this following slides, we're going to apply the three approaches or the three perspectives or the three theories in one specific social problem. And what is that social problem? We'll have first poverty. So how structural functionalists approach view poverty? I've given here two views based on structural functionalist approach. The first one, it says here, there is poverty because one sector fails to do its part, which is the labor sector. Again, there is poverty because one sector fails to do its part, which is the labor sector. So, structural functionalist approach is being applied in that sentence. The second sentence is another approach based from a structural functionalist perspective. They view poverty as what? Let me read the second sentence. The poor play an important role in our society. Again, I repeat, the poor play an important role in our society. So what could be the role of a poor individual? So he could be or she could be a house helper. He or she could be maintenance, building maintenance. What else? The poor ones can be what? They can serve as laborers under a construction work. So again, that poor has an important role in our society. So they are also needed in our society. So that's how the structural functionalist approach view poverty. So for the next slide, let us see the difference. This time, how conflict approach view poverty. So when we say conflict approach, it could be, it is the same as Marxism or Marxist approach or Marxist perspective. In the first sentence, let me read this sentence. The poor are the oppressed members of the society. So according to the conflict approach, they always view the poor ones as the oppressed ones, being oppressed by the wealthy or the rich people. So in another sentence, the second sentence, how conflict approach view poverty, the second sentence says that the poor will remain poor as long as there are the rich ones who violated the rights of these poor people. The poor will remain poor as long as there are the rich ones who violated the rights of these poor people. So the poor will never become rich as long as there are wealthy people around, because they will not allow that to happen. So that's how the conflict approach view poverty. And for the last one, how symbolic interactionists approach view poverty. Again, how symbolic interactionist theory or approach view poverty. I have here two sentences. Number one, being poor is a way of life too. Again, being poor is a way of life too. So this is somewhat personal. So how a person view poverty, or how a person view a certain poor individual. And this second sentence, it's another way how the symbolic interactionists approach poverty. So this sentence says, this poor people is happy with the way they live. This poor people is happy with the way they live. So this second sentence reflects also the symbolic interactionist perspective on how they view poverty. So for them, maybe these poor people is enjoying the life that they have. So for them, it's enough for them just to be poor, just to stay alive in this world. So regardless whether they are poor or what, the opinion of another people could say that maybe being poor is they are being happy for just being poor. So this is a symbolic interactionist approach. So that is it for now. We will return, we'll have a new video for the next lesson. And with regard to the Melc number 4, you have to answer the questions uploaded in the Google Classroom. So see you next time. Bye.